Well, holy shit. I actually managed to do it. After procrastinating for ages, I finally managed to produce an audiobook version of the Lunatic Fringe book. It's currently available on all Amazon sites, audible.com, and shortly on iTunes. And if you're the page-turning type, it's also, of course, still available in Kindle form, paperback, and hardback on Amazon. 10 hours and 10 years worth of Blue Skies Magazine's articles, all available to you right fucking now, including a few author's notes and even an apology or two. Enjoy.
In a world.
Mate, hold up. We said we're done with the serious intros.
Who said?
Well, we did.
I don't remember that.
Well, I said it, and you're me, so, you know.
Well, I don't care. In a world.
Hey, I told you. We're keeping it light.
You do it on your own then.
Well, technically, I already am. So, anyway. Fuck yeah. Pure wild flight. Get it down ya. How good? Visit nzaerosports.com.
I get to do the next one.
Well, obviously, you moron. We both do.
Of course, I absolutely love the NZ Aerosports business model. I mean, come on. One glance at an Icarus fuck yeah sticker and you know it lines up perfectly with the fucking pilot mentality. But outside their wonderful use of colorful language and a great company vibe, there's a long list of reasons to say NZ Aerosports fuck yeah. NZ Aerosports blows me away right out of the gate as a canopy manufacturer with a bold offer. They give you 10 jumps on your brand new nylon to decide if you want to keep it, swap it out, or even return it for a refund. I mean, seriously, how incredible is that? That's like getting halfway through a prom and deciding you prefer the slightly racier date that goes down faster. Seriously, they do that. If you're not madly in love with your new canopy after 10 jumps, they'll let you swap it out for another size or model, or even get your money back. And the range of canopies they've got? Man, they've got a style canopy to fit every jumper and every situation with models you know and trust, like the Sapphire 3, the perfect choice for the beginner or intermediate canopy pilot. The Crossfire 3, when you're ready to kick it up that elliptical notch. The JFX 2, if you're looking to up your new swoop game. The Leia as the workhorse and dirtwater dirt beast. Or the Petra. The Petra cranks out crazy power and is nothing short of a record breaker. But hey, it's not always about speed either. Take the Kraken. Built as a low pack volume canopy specifically with wingsuiting in mind, she gives you all the performance you're looking for with the reliability you need that'll have you itching for that next formation, rodeo, or puffy cloud. So the equipment is top of the line kick-ass stuff as you already know, but how about the team? Well, the customer service gang is there to sort you out whenever you need them. Maddie and Beto are always there to help with Jen holding the reins. They're available for you at sales@nzaerosports.com, and they've got a kick-ass live chat tool on the website if you're wanting to hit someone up right away. These are the crew you're going to want to talk to get those custom orders in. With the stock nylon, once you know what you want, they'll have that shit on a FedEx truck as soon as the credit card machine says approved and get you in the air in no time. For your custom orders, you'll be able to get a time frame for building and shipping when you design it, so get to it. And demos. They've got demos in the US available from their partner Rock Sky Market. The whole US demo fleet is there with Sapphire 3, Crossfire 3, Kraken, JFX2, and Leia canopies in a range of sizes. They also offer student and tandem demos in the US. Bottom line, every step of the way, NZ Aerosports is there to get you what you need, and I personally couldn't be happier to be teamed up with them here on Lunatic Fringe. And now, time to get started with Lunatic Fringe Into the Void, brought to you proudly by NZ Aerosports. Fuck yeah.
Coming straight from the cockpit, it's another episode of Lunatic Fringe with the fucking pilot.
Ready, set, go! Back in the can for another edition of Lunatic Fringe Into the Void. And before we get started, I've talked to this guy before, and I'll tell you what, he's been not a friend. This guy has been a brother of mine for going on 20 years. So not if, but when I call him a fat, lazy cunt, know that I do it with love. And when I talk a whole lot of shit about him, I still think he's a really talented skydiver, even though he's a big, fat, lazy cunt. So tell me, who the fuck are you and what do you do?
Hey, back in the hot seat, man. So, yep, my name is Derick, and I'm a skydiver.
Yeah. I loved it. I loved it as I'm saying all of that shit as it begins.
That's all I do.
You didn't even react to me calling you a big fat lazy cunt because I've done it so many times.
Yeah, nah.
So you jump
Not
out
my
of
first picnic with you, man.
No. So you jump out of airplanes.
Every once in a while, yeah.
You've got you got all the fucking ratings, and you've been doing this for a long time. You are the epitome of the fucking old guy tandem instructor now.
Yeah, I think I'm falling right into that category, my man.
Yeah.
26 years now going on, jumping out of these things and still loving every little bit of it.
I mean,
yeah.
Which is fucking amazing. Now, that being said, you and I have got a lot of war wounds from over the years. Some of them inflicted with each other. So I'm sure we're going to talk quite a bit about how we're surviving being old fucking skydivers. But for those that have not met you before or haven't heard us talk before, how did you get your start jumping out of airplanes?
Oh, I remember driving past a drop zone in Philadelphia. And it's one of those just kind of driving by, looking over, going, oh, wow, skydiving. Okay. I think I'll pull in here and check it out. And I honestly, I don't remember ever feeling so uncomfortable in my whole life and never wanted to do it again. Usually everyone has this brilliant story about how he loved it and would from now on until the day they die always do it. But for me, it was I'll never touch that again. And it was I was with an instructor who was my instructor is about 5'4", okay, and he had a fairly large belly on him.
Okay,
so if you can imagine us both standing up and me on the front and him standing, vertically and just the belly protruding out to the point where he's putting me into an arch times 10.
Sure. By the way, for those that can't see you, you're about what are you, 6'2"?
6'2", 6'3", in between, yeah.
And he's much shorter and fat. Okay, cool. Got the picture.
He's a big boy. So in free fall, I remember literally before the parachute had even opened, my arms and legs went completely numb. So by the time we got to the ground, I literally, as he unhooked us, I literally just fell over, and that was it. And he's just like, "Are you all right? You all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can't feel my arms and my legs. Is that normal?"
Yes.
He's no, I think you're just in shock. And I'm like, no, I'm not in shock. I literally can't feel my arms and my legs because the harness was really tight. I'm sure he took a lot of offense to the fact that, he was doing something a little bit incorrectly.
Right.
But yeah, I just remember how uncomfortable it was and never wanting to do it again.
Now it's got to be weird too. All these years later, looking back, I bet you now you can look back at that first jump and tell all the things that he did wrong that made your fucking arms and legs go numb.
Oh yeah, 100%, man, 100%. And which is all the more reason you'd want to try, more so trying to do the right thing by all your students. You want them to be as comfortable as possible. You want them to remember it.
Yeah. So if your first jump was basically like getting ass raped by a short fat gorilla, who just left you lying on the ground, what the fuck possessed you to jump out of an airplane again?
I can tell you the next fun jump I had. I was seeing this girl in California, and I was on an elevator in the military on the way back down, and there was a bloke on there. He had two broken legs, and he his crutches, and he had a rig on his back. And she she was with me, and she knew the guy. So they started chatting back and forth, and this guy was from Australia, and he was just going on and on about how he just he landed and messed up his right leg, and then he went back a couple weeks later and then messed up his left leg. So it was two different incidents. And he was just on the way out to the drop zone to do another jump, is what he was telling her anyway. So yeah, that just got her and I talking about it, and we decided to go out and give the tandem thing one more go. So yeah.
So your mentality was you decided you'd make a second jump because randomly in an elevator you bumped into a skydiver with two fucked up legs, and you thought that sounds like a good idea.
No, honestly, I was just trying to get laid.
Did it work?
Yeah, and it did work. Yeah, but it boiled down to me going, oh well, this guy.
Wait, was it the girl was it the girl that you got laid with, or the guy with the fucked up legs?
Yeah.
I just got.
So I was like, well, with no pun intended, this guy's got a foot in already. So I figured, she brought up the fact that we should go for a skydive, and that was it. Actually, we ended up both going and getting our aft, doing our aft together.
Oh, nice.
And then I think after maybe 40 jumps, she stopped skydiving, and I kept going.
So
that was the.
So the second jump, clearly it was better than the first.
That was it. Yeah. They having a parachute on your back versus an instructor on the back that's putting you in a position to make your arms and legs fall asleep.
Wait. So your second jump was not a tandem; it was straight to AFF.
Straight to AFF, yeah. Oh. Yeah, we went out there for a tandem. And ended up doing AF level 1. And I ended up doing AF level 1 through 4 one day, and then 5, 6, and 7 the next.
Oh, yeah. Really? In 2 days?
Yep. 2 days.
And this was at what drop zone?
Skydive San Diego.
Otay Lakes. Scary fucking place.
Brownfield Airport at the time, right on the border of Mexico. Yeah, way back in the day.
Oh wait, so this was when it was still at the big airport and not over at the little.
That's place. Right. Yep.
Nice.
Just before Buzz Fink bought it, and then moved it over to Otay.
So I mean, and you spent a lot of time in San Diego, didn't you? Jumping wise.
Yeah, 9 years I was there before I moved on to Vegas, and then ended up going out and I met you out there.
Did you get all your ratings in San Diego? Like, I didn't
get my IAF rating until I came out here in Australia. So I moved out to Australia in 2006. So, but all my tandem ratings and everything were in San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, the fact that you're in Australia now explains the random use of the word bloke by a guy who spent most of his life in California.
9 years in California, 9 years in Vegas, but 15 years here.
I still have such a difficult time when I hear you say mate and shit like that. It kind of makes me want to slap you. So
it's catchy.
So
slapping me, that is.
Yeah. So what drew you to Vegas? What brought you out there?
Vegas. So I moved to Vegas because I was starting to party a bit much in San Diego. So I moved to Vegas thinking, hey, you know what? I think I'll slow down. Vegas seems like the perfect spot to do
it. You're a fucking idiot.
Which is, in hindsight, that's when I started doing all the triathlons and stuff. Was in Vegas, so it actually, I was motivated.
Yeah, so that was years later. Don't make these poor people think you moved to Vegas and just started fucking doing shit right. Come on.
No.
Let's be honest.
A couple years, but yeah.
So, did you have a gig already lined up in Vegas, or?
Actually, I I went to Vegas and immediately bought a ticket to go out to New Zealand. I had a job lined up in New Zealand doing tandems, and that was right around the time United Airlines was going under.
Mm.
And a friend of mine had given me a buddy pass, an open-ended ticket to go to New Zealand. And when it all crashed, I ended up staying in Vegas.
Okay.
That's how I got stuck into Vegas. Yeah.
Well, and what was your first drop zone working in Vegas? Was Skydive Las Vegas, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Michael Hawks' old spot, Skydive Las Vegas, for a bit of time. I think it was till 2002 or
something like that.
That's when I met you. What I was.
Well, back to something like that. Now, when you and I talked last time, I talked a lot of shit about Michael Hawks and Skydive Las Vegas, but your experience wasn't as bad as mine.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't there during most of your experience. But yeah, no, it was all right, actually. I was working with Simon Wade at the time, who actually made it quite enjoyable to work with. I quite enjoyed working with Simon.
Sure.
But yeah, always for shits and giggles, that guy was good for it, you know?
Well, and he's the one that put me through my tandem course, and I love and hate him all at the same time for that shit. But he's a
good guy.
You and I didn't meet until you started jumping over in Jean, Nevada, because you were with
it was just it.
Go ahead.
That's right. Yeah, because it was a couple of years at Skydive Las Vegas, and then Michael and I had a falling out, as most people do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went over to Vegas Skydive. I can't remember what they were trying to call it then. It had only been open a couple months. But yeah, that's when you and Eddie ran in and recruited me.
Yeah, well,
as I was filling out the waiver to work there, you ran in and went, nah, come on outside.
Recruiting
it was
you?
Like a bad drug deal going.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
you had fucking 3 grown adult men sitting in a van, basically with candy, and got you to climb into a fucking van in an empty parking lot in the middle of the desert, you moron.
Yeah, well, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
And then talked you into quitting the job that you had just gotten with the competition and coming to work for us.
Yeah.
Great idea. Great idea.
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't too keen to work for Chris at the time. Remember Chris? I can't remember his last name, but yeah, I was like, you know what? I'll take it, because I definitely don't want to be working for Michael Hawks anymore.
Sure.
But yeah, and the second you walked in was like, hey, got a better idea.
Well, and you're kind of fucked when you're in Vegas, right? Because you could make a lot of money working as a tandem instructor in Vegas.
Yeah. Well, it was, God, what I don't know what you made, but when I was, we were making good. Oh, it was over $100,000, way over $100,000. Easy.
It was fantastic money. Yeah,
that wasn't including the tips. Tips was 80% of what you were. Yeah, it was.
Tips were fucking amazing.
It was a shit. Yeah,
shitload
of money.
When you and I ended up working together, we were basically it was still a startup at the time, because I was taking the pictures for all the rack cards that would go out in Vegas, and it was owned by one good friend of ours, Dale Hinton, and another little shit we won't talk about, at least not too much. But we did some stupid shit working for that drop zone.
Yeah, we did, but we had a really good time doing it.
Yeah. Well, but and when I say stupid shit, we pushed a lot of limits when we were working at that drop zone. I like to think that most of my chops as a tandem instructor, I got when you and I were working together in Jean, because fuck me, man, we jumped in some of the gnarliest conditions in one of the most hardcore places out there.
Yeah, well, Eddie Carroll he pretty much gave us the reins and was like, "You boys have this. You make the limits. Have at it." And it was really good. It was up to us to make as much money as we wanted.
Sure.
So yeah.
Well, it was up to us to some degree. I mean, you and I did not jump through fucking ground fog from 1,000 feet down to the ground by choice.
Well, we did, but it looked like it was going to clear at the time.
Yeah, but we were the idiots that jumped out.
A lot of it was, and a lot of it was kind of, we were still newer instructors. You know what I mean? So just kind of going, well, let's hope it all works out.
Run me through your version of that jump.
Oh, okay. I remember obviously it was a bit foggy, but it was only in a few areas. You know what I mean? And it looked like the spot we were landing in was pushing out of the way. You couldn't see the ground, but you can see kind of it opening up around it in a distance,
right? To
the point where you got the feeling like by the time you're up in the air and you spend a few minutes under the tandem, under the canopy, that by the time you got down, it wouldn't be a difficult thing to say, I'm gonna make this no problem.
Sure.
And then of course in free fall, I'm looking, and a couple spots that looked like it was opening up started closing up, and then I'm like, okay, I'll open a little higher. And then, once you got a few extra seconds under the canopy, and as you're getting closer to the ground, you're like, this isn't clearing. And then it was actually, up off the ground a lot higher than I thought it was going to be. But never, it literally was like all the way to the ground.
Yeah.
So once you started going into it, you're like, oh shit. You look at your altimeter going, oh, I hope I have at least 100 feet at the, between the bottom of this and the ground that I can, have enough time to put the brakes on. And
sure.
It never happened.
Well, and of course, knowing that on one side of the landing area is I-15 and massive high-tension power lines, and that on the far side of the drop zone is fucking a mountain.
Yeah. There was. It felt like you had a little bit of room for air, but the closer you got towards the ground, you realize you didn't have any room.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like, I hope I put the brake. I hope I can at least see the bush. You know what I mean? When I punch the brakes.
Well, and I mean, knock wood, it worked out. Not only did we both have relatively uneventful, clean landings, but we were both within, what I want to say, 100 yards of the actual landing area.
Yeah, and honestly, I think we just got lucky.
We did. I mean? We did.
Yeah. I remember as soon as I was able to see a bush, I just remember just stabbing it and just hitting the brakes, and just kind of pummeling into the ground and kind of rolling with it. And, my passenger, of course, he was laughing his ass off, and that was awesome. I'm thinking, okay, well, at least he's not upset about kind of eating shit on the landing,
Right.
And I just remember laughing with him, but really to myself, giggling out loud at you because I knew that you were dealing with the same shit I just dealt with.
Yeah, which was absolutely fucking ridiculous. I remember thinking at one point we should be yelling Marco Polo just to fucking just stay the fuck away from each other, because the entire time I'm thinking all of those thoughts, as well as, fuck, Derick's flying around in this shit too, and I have no idea where that motherfucker is.
Yeah, scary.
Yeah, needless to say, we waited a little while to make another jump that day.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. We shouldn't have even gone up, but we did. So
what was the jump that you did? You took the tandem and I shot the video because we had that massive group come out, but the deal was the guy that was paying for all of it had to jump as well, and he was huge.
That's right.
And
that's right. That was just after 9/11. That was the director of Homeland Security came out. He brought his whole crew out. Remember?
Yeah, he worked for Homeland Security and brought the whole crew. But and we drew straws for who was going to have to do what, and you got the short straw and had to take him.
Yes, I did.
And I had to shoot the video. And he was huge.
He was a big boy. He was over 300 pounds, man. He was a big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And every bit of that canopy, I was just, and it wasn't even, we didn't even get, what altitude we even get. It wasn't even, it was more of a hop and pop, felt like, you know what I mean?
I think we got out like 8,000 feet.
Yeah, too low with that weight.
Oh, yeah.
Way too low for any weight, really.
Oh, yeah. I mean, holy shit. That one, I remember thinking, this one is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And all I have to do is film it. Of course, a couple of years later, I ended up taking somebody basically that weight as well. But that jump, especially in Vegas, because you're landing on fucking gravel at a 2,000 MSL. You know, I mean, we're a couple thousand feet above sea level.
Yeah.
Shit gets going pretty fast. And the gear that we were jumping, some of it was not the newest gear.
Shit house. Yeah. You really don't go into jumps like that unless you really have a favorite rig that is available.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I felt quite comfortable that I was like, I wasn't super stoked that I was taking that weight, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, it's completely doable.
Well, this is the same drop.
I was envious that
I got to shoot the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Well, and we had a bunch of fun ones though as well. I mean, fuck, how many naked people did we take? I've shot video with you strapped to naked women many a time. Yeah.
Yeah, well, didn't we have that big promotion when we first opened that? It was the if you go naked, you go for free.
Yeah.
And of course, in Vegas, it was a brilliant idea.
Oh yeah.
You know, and of course, every stripper in Vegas saw a shot for a free skydiving.
Well, and then the AVN
every week anyway.
The AVN convention would come to town every year, and you'd always have a porn star that wanted to jump naked.
Yep.
Without fail.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And it was always that routine: I'll spin left, you spin right.
Yep, because you don't want to get.
Shouldn't you just stay in the front of me on the naked ones? You're like,
yeah, might as well go around and give him the whole horror show because nobody.
around.
I don't care how good a shape you're in. Nothing looks good in free fall. Bare skin does not look good in free fall, no matter how.
Nobody looks good at 120 miles an hour.
No. It doesn't happen. So, I mean, outside of...
Then you had, of course, the...
Go ahead.
I was just saying, we also had the boys that came in a few times a year, the SFC club. Remember those guys, the stripper fucker clubs?
No, remind me.
The stripper fucker club. These guys came in a few times a year, and they were... Are you taking the piss, really?
No, I don't remember.
No, you don't remember. Okay, yeah. Okay, these guys would come in every few times a year and always bring just a slew of strippers with them for the. But I guess if you're taking, we're taking strippers year round anyway. You probably, you were stripping yourself, so it'll probably all blended together for you anyway, dude.
Well, yeah, the stripper part of it definitely did, because you're actually, it's kind of funny because you're one of the few people that I've had on the podcast that actually can verify I used to do that for a living, because I was still in the I was still working in the club when you and I were hanging out and jumping.
Yeah, I remember going to. That's when I'm not a big fan of going to strip clubs, never have been, but when I first met you, we were going to strip clubs, and of course all the chicks were walking up to you going, "Dean, hey Dean." I'm like, "Where do you know her from?" You're like, "I work with her." I'm like,
Yep.
Okay, Olympic Garden. You're like, "Yeah, the guys upstairs, the women are downstairs."
Yeah, man, I was just one of the girls, man. It was fucking great.
You're still one of the girls.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, now you ended up working in a strip club yourself, though.
Yeah, my ex got me the job. Yeah, doing bouncing.
Yep. Making
cheetahs.
Yeah,
another 2,000-3,000 a night.
You were
Vegas was such a money maker. So we're making $200,000 a year skydiving, and another 3,000 a night, twice a week at strip club.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good.
Yep. So of course now you're living in fucking Australia.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
so
Nah.
let's talk injuries a bit, because people can't see as they're listening to the podcast that you're walking around as we're having this conversation. You shouldn't be able to walk.
No, no. Well, I have had a couple of beers, so I don't feel a thing right now. I think I'm doing no, I'm joking. But I actually about 5-6 years ago, I my most I shouldn't say most recent, but I think a big one I had was a shattered knee.
Mm.
I of course did what all the other skydivers do and wrapped it up and put a brace on it. I'm good. And of course, the ops manager is going, nah, you're down for a week. I'm like, no, I'm good. It's just a sprain. After about a month, I think I went in and had it looked at. They're like, oh, yeah, you've torn this, you've torn that, you shattered this, you got 5 cracks down the patella, you're done.
Right.
So Wednesday at 8:30, you can come in and I'm like, okay, for what? I'm like, yeah, you've got to get a knee replacement. I'm like, no, that's not happening. So that's the knee. That's finally given me grief. Years later, I actually blew it off, and it just started to slowly not give me as much grief anymore until recently. But yeah,
well,
that's the knee.
I mean, you and
we
I
can
have
work
traded
our way up or work our way down from there.
You and I have traded back and forth with fucked up surgeries, but the one that I remember vividly with you is you were having surgery on your lower back, and I came in to visit you after the first surgery, and was just in time to find out that it was either a doctor or a nurse was trying to pull the drainage tube out of the incision in your lower back when they discovered that they had accidentally sewn the rubber tubing
stitched into the muscle
inside your back, and had to take you back into surgery to cut it out.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah.
Well, oops.
And that was to what, fuse part of your lower back?
That particular one was 2005, 6, and that was for S1, L4, and L5. And
how did you fuck all that?
That was actually bothering me for I think it's just wear and tear. When we jumped out in Michael Hawks's place, when I first moved to Vegas, they were jumping the old freaking F111s.
Yep.
And of course, I'm the new guy, so I take every heavy guy that walks into the door.
Yep.
And of course, when I got there, you get Simon Wade limping around and everything he's got just to walk on 2 feet, going, all right, young bloke, it's your turn. You get to take all the overweight people. So, and to be honest, I had a pretty easy ride in San Diego. I got to take it just felt like I was taking every light passenger there.
Sure.
Which was awesome, because that'll never happen twice in your life, But when in Vegas, my first 2,000-3,000, I think, were it just felt like they were all, just weight charges.
Yeah.
And with the F111 just pounding into the ground every other landing.
And the openings.
Of course, it's a decent enough landing, because you can only sink those in and just stab them just right every time. But it's just over time, it just takes the toll on you. And of course, the openings. Brutal, the openings.
I mean, because we were jumping the old vector systems that had you hanging head low, and then you've got these F111 train wreck openings every time, and that all slams into your lower back, and then the landings and all that shit. So, that's over a long time. But you actually just recently went through the same version of the shit that I went through, which was having stuff with your neck done.
Yeah, I had a second neck surgery.
Yeah.
I recently had C3, just pins and plates removed. But back in 2007, 8, I had a really hard opening and broke my neck.
Yep.
And it was 2003. It was. And my neck snapped back on opening. And I just remember just feeling it in my whole body, just going, oh. And I went down, and of course I told Michael, I was like, oh, I'm hurt on that one. He's like, you're hurt or are you injured? I'm like, well, I guess I'm just hurt. He goes, all right, you're on the next tandem, you know? So every tandem after that was just me holding my chin and hoping, just kind of letting
Yep.
all the air out and just kind of roll the opening. But I found out a year later that I'd broken my C2 and snapped it completely. It was at a 90 degree. It still is at a 90 to this day. Once they don't like to go back in and mess around
Sure.
with C2 once it heals up. But I think because of that, it just kind of sets the pace for everything else below it.
Sure.
And eventually going bad.
Sure.
Or at least C3, which was the next one, which is my most recent.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both. I mean,
But all good now. You just had one. Yeah. What was you just had two or three levels?
4 levels. Yeah, my C2 all the way down to my C6, 7. They took all 4 discs out. They replaced 2 of them with artificial discs and fused 2. And then I am, at least as far as I know, the only person still in recorded medical history to have a titanium disc break in his neck. So they had to go in and take the broken disc out and fuse those 2. So now I have 3 levels fused in my neck, which yay. Hey, I mean, honestly, I'm surprised that I still have quite a range of motion. So I'm impressed with that.
Yeah, well, they say all the motion, the range, you get most of your range comes from that first one, evidently. The first C2, and
yeah. My fear, and I don't know if it's yours, is as we keep getting older, shit just starts hurting more anyway. But you and I and a lot of OG tandem meat haulers out there have fucked ourselves up. Man, what condition are we going to be in our 60s and 70s?
Yeah, right. Well, I don't know. Who knows? I'm still going to be trucking along, probably still doing tandems in my 70s. So I'm hoping that I'm doing just fine.
So
I mean, I just heard. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna give you some shit. I'm like, so how does it feel to know you're that guy?
I'm that guy.
You're that guy. You're the guy that's gonna be the comments always gonna be that guy. The comments always gonna be Derick's still doing fucking tandems. Holy shit!
What, that guy?
He's not dead yet.
And I've had so many people say, God, how can you stand those? I fucking hate tandems. Like, I love tandems, bro. I always loved tandems. Since my first, and it wasn't just my first paid, even though it was, but it was just because it was the first time I had taken somebody who came out, he came out to do a tandem for the experience. And literally, the energy that he gave me was just so overwhelming to me. I was just like, no way can I do this for people all day long and they're going to give me a paycheck for it. Yeah. No, it was a no-brainer for me. And still is. I still love doing it.
Not to mention back during our single days, it didn't exactly hurt your dating life.
No.
Especially not in a place like Las Vegas.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good in Las Vegas.
So now you're that guy. You're the old tandem instructor. You're the limping.
I'm the young tandem. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you're the old tandem instructor. the limping fucking caution. Yeah. You're the limping cautionary tale. You are also the father of 2 sons. How would you feel if, when your sons get older, they go, Dad, I want to be just like you?
No, I hope they don't want to know. Define that. I mean, that's a loaded. No, I don't want them to be just like me, but we all have our own little path. I'm sure they're not going to choose to be a tandem master, or hell, I don't even know if they really want to skydive.
Well, I mean, they're still quite young, but I mean, when eventually someone else is having to wipe your ass for you, which it
happens now,
right?
What are you talking about?
I mean, yeah. What would you think if either one of your sons is like, Dad, I want to be a tandem instructor, or I want to be a professional skydiver? Because for me,
Honestly, I'd cheer him on, dude. I've had a freaking epic adventure so far. You know what I
sure,
mean? Like the last 26 years have just been fucking stupendous.
yeah.
So yeah, they want to go through that same route and have a killer freaking career and love every second of it. Then yeah, man, I totally wish that for them. For
Which is
sure.
cool. I mean, it's kind of
Yeah.
funny because you and I are, I mean, roughly the same age. You're a couple years younger than me. We've been in the sport for roughly the same amount of time with very
Yep.
similar careers. Um, and we're getting to the age where the bills are coming due. We're starting to pay the price for the life we've lived, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't regret it
That's all right.
either. I don't regret it either,
Yeah.
but getting out of bed in the morning sometimes fucking sucks.
Yeah, I heard you say it on your last podcast a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Or I was just listening to it. Yeah, and you're like, the hardest thing for me is getting out of bed.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part of my entire day, and it rings true for me as well. And I'm sure for a lot of people who have any kind of physical injuries or any kind of anything they deal with throughout life that gives them constant pain.
Are we just gluttons
But
for
yeah, I
punishment?
mean,
Do we enjoy the torture?
no, we're glutton for. We love it. We're just the first guy to stand in line for a good time. I mean, unfortunately, in our sport, this is the price you pay for a good time.
Sure. Well, and we
You know what I mean?
also we kind of refuse to grow up, right? I mean, because we're both fucking infants. We're idiots.
Speak for yourself, mate.
No, I'll speak for both of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Fuck you. You're from California and you're
Well,
chucking
what?
drugs and saying mate, man.
Yeah, I refuse to grow up.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
No,
I pay my bills. I do the things I'm supposed to do, and I like to have fun.
well,
So,
I had a really simple mentality when it came to something like that. I don't need to fucking grow up as long as I can be responsible about being an idiot. Get the bills paid, do what you got to do, take care of your responsibilities, and then be
True.
as infantile as you want to be, as long as the important shit gets taken care of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And that's pretty much what we all do anyway.
Yeah.
What I mean? And
Pretty much.
the ones who try to hide that are lying to themselves.
Yeah.
I think.
So
That's-
So you're in a pretty long-term committed relationship now to a woman that's dramatically healthier than you. She's in much better
Yeah.
shape than you.
Yeah.
She's watching you fall apart in front of you. Are you trying to stay healthy to keep up with her? Because
Yeah, honestly, you're doing the same thing I'm doing. We have to keep ourselves in really, really good shape all the time, because the second we take any kind of slack on it, we fall apart. I do. What I mean? And I feel it. I take a week off and I feel it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's always trying to keep the stretches going, trying to keep in the gym, trying to keep the cardio up, trying to keep everything going.
So
that's just to make it easier to get out of bed.
On that topic, let's talk to. So I've been lucky enough to stay pretty tightly involved with an awesome group on Facebook called the Beginner Skydiving Forum. It's a huge group, and it's got everything from people thinking about making their first tandem to just making their way through their first 100 jumps, all wanting to hear how to get started, how people got their start, which direction to go. So for the younger jumpers, let's talk longevity. Where did you fuck up that you wish you had done something different? Well, it would be easier for you to just say where you didn't fuck up.
Yeah, I'd say something that occurred to me only during COVID. Well, when we were going back to work, I should say, out here in Australia, you had to have, they wanted us to wear helmets.
Right.
And you know me, Dean, I've never worn a helmet my whole life. I mean,
right.
I wear a helmet for, obviously, doing a videography or whatever, but I'm not a fan. I can't stand the helmets, especially doing tandems. It just, I like to feel the wind in my face and the pressure on my skin and yada, yada, yada. And I love it.
Yep.
When we came back, we all had to wear the helmets, and it wasn't until the first opening when my head, instead of kind of going back into its, a compromising position where so many other times it's giving me whiplash.
Right.
It was stopped by the back of my helmet touching the rig, and I'm like, hold on, wow! If I were wearing this helmet years ago, not to save my head, but it would have saved my neck.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? My helmet aha moment was my fucking hearing, because I have tinnitus like a motherfucker, man. I hear free fall 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Because you can't do fucking, 10 out of 12,000 jumps without a helmet on or earplugs in and not pay the price. So that was my big clue was, oh, there's something to this helmet shit, and it's not necessarily about hitting something hard. I mean,
yeah.
What else?
I've always worn earplugs, so earplugs is a big one. You know what I mean? Having a good pair of earplugs, not just the little foams that you squeeze and throw them in your ears, but a really good solid pair that are made for your ears.
Sure.
Saving the hearing. And honestly, the parachutes, I should say, I mean, if we're talking just tandems, and we can talk gear, but the parachutes nowadays have just gotten so much easier and more forgiving.
Sure.
Sure. Obviously, there's a little less room for air. So if you're screwing your arc up, you're going to pound into the ground. But if you're playing that arc just right, it's going to save you. It's going to save your knees, going to save your back, it's going to save everything. Even the openings are just super sweet. So I don't think there's an issue, as big of an issue nowadays as there used to be.
I still think, the basics that a lot of jumpers, at least back in our day, took for granted was staying physically in shape and exercising. And for me, it was stretching. But I mean, how many jumpers did you come up with that went straight from the drop zone to the bar and never saw the inside of a fucking gym? Their exercise for their arms was flaring. Skydiving beat the shit out of them. And I'd like to think that the only reason that I'm still super active is because I stayed in the gym for all 27 years I've been jumping.
Yeah. No, I didn't start until, that must have been around 2006 or so. But before that, I was the last guy in the gym.
Sure.
Me and my bestie back in San Diego were always on the party prowl.
Sure.
Doing everything except for taking care of our bodies. You know what I mean?
Sure. Well, actually, I gotta give you credit, because the first triathlon I ever did, I did because you did a triathlon, and you were so busy bragging about it that I'm like, I'm not going to let that big fucking fat bald cunt do this triathlon, and I haven't done one. So I trained my ass off, and not only did I do a triathlon that was longer than yours, I did it faster than you. So fuck you.
Way faster, and way better on all levels, to be honest. To be fair, when you called, I remember you're like, hey, I'm like, well, what are your, I was kind of proud of myself. I was getting pretty fast times on my swim. And I'm like, yeah, how fast is your swim? And you're like, oh, it's this fast. And it's this slow, you should say. And I go, oh, no, that's too fast. No, can't be that. You're like, I'll video it. I'm like, yeah, okay, video it. And I remember watching your video going, that motherfucker. You're like 4 times faster than my best time. And I was like, fuck, you literally are a fish in the water. I was like, all right, well, that's all you got going for is your swim. And then your run. Smashed my time by your run. And then the bike. And I'm like, fuck you all together, man. I was proud of you. You did awesome, man.
It was, what drove me through the training was just wanting desperately to beat you, because you were so proud of that triathlon.
I was.
Yeah.
Oh, but you smashed me. He smashed me.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
It was
for
good
sure.
to see.
That was for sure. Well, and we've been lucky enough to have lots of adventures over the years and done a bunch of traveling, and we've bounced around some islands together and fucking Fiji and Australia
Quite a few items.
and
Yeah.
and Bali and all this stuff. And if it weren't for that fucking knee, you'd be going up to Everest with me at the end of this month.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
and actually, I have another surgery coming up as well. I've got C5 getting ready to be fused this next couple months, or next probably 60 days. Yeah, which is I'm quite happy about, because right now I'm doing some downtime anyway.
right.
And it's just perfect timing for me to take care of this. So it's
Sure.
just before the summer season hits anyway. So yeah.
It's
It's needed repaired and fixed for the last 10 years anyways. It's just time.
You know what sucks about all of this is we are going to be like just that much too late for all the stem cell research where they're going to be able to regrow all your bones and tendons. We're going to miss it by like 10 years. We're going to be like, I'll probably
5.
Yeah, if that, I'll just have come out of the oven and getting burned to ashes, and they're gonna go, oh wait, shit, we could have fixed him, but now you cremated him. Fuck.
Yeah, they're like, wow, look at all this metal and what was left out of the ashes. Wow, this guy,
actually,
he was a prime candidate. Too bad.
That's true, dude. You and I won't be able to do a normal ash dive. It'd be too fucking dangerous because they'll be raining metal down on everybody. We're old and fucked up.
Right.
Man.
You're not wrong, Rich.
No. So
speak for yourself, man. I'm in my prime.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So as we get towards the end of the podcast, man, give me again, you're that guy. You literally are that guy. What's your advice to old and new skydivers? What are the things they should be thinking of? What are the things that keep you passionate all these years later and all this pain later?
Just giving that energy to all the new and up and coming tandems. You know, it's just I love giving that just that feeling out to somebody who's never had it before, and you know, that's how I'm able to stay passionate, just looking at that smile and feeling the energy and giving them something super awesome in their life, you know?
Sure.
As far as making it last as long as I have, luck, really.
Sure.
You know, a bit of better gear, I think, and a bit of luck. And yeah, I guess keep exercising. As much as you tear it down, you got to build it back up. So
sure.
Yeah, I attack it all and don't stick to one thing. Do it all.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was going to give you shit and say that at this point, you're just not fucking qualified to do anything else. That's actually not true, though. I mean, you were a very talented welder. Like, you have other career options that you could absolutely go make really good money at and choose not to because you still love doing tandem. So in that respect, man, my hat's off to you. You're still that guy, and I'm going to make fun of you forever for it. But
and I'll accept it.
But I mean, you're also pushing towards more of a management desire and being able to bring new instructors up as well. So you're kind of giving it back to the next generation of instructors too, which is great.
Yeah. And you're trying to give it back and teach it in such a way that they're trying to do the right thing by all of their students as well. You know, nice. I mean, they can't forget the goal. They can't forget the big plaque, which is, you know, this isn't about you and a paycheck.
Sure.
You know, we all do this because it's about all the rest of us.
Sure.
You know, all the mates, all your buddies you're jumping with, and all the new tandem students that are taste testing this out for the first time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It's a paycheck at the end of the day, but that's honestly the last thing I'm thinking about.
For sure. Well, I mean, it always boils down to the community. And I mean, here you and I sit basically 20 years later. I consider you my brother and have for years and years. We've done a ton of really ridiculously stupid shit together. We can go a year without talking and fall right back into the same conversation like it was yesterday. And if it weren't for the fact that I lured you into a van in the desert because of skydiving, I would have missed out on so much. And I think that's the biggest thing in regard to skydiving is I have relationships and bromances with some of my favorite people on the planet because I decided to jump out of an airplane once.
That's awesome.
You know, there's not too many things that do that, and certainly not too many sports that do that. So, I mean, if for nothing else, man, skydiving has given me a world of incredible friends.
Very cool.
Now, that being said, normally I would ask you how people follow you on social media, but you're a big fat cunt. You don't like to have yourself out on social media all that much. So I'm just gonna say thanks for chit-chatting with me and finish off by calling you a total fucking pussy for not going to Everest with me.
Yeah, always a good time.
Yes. All right, brother, man. I love you.
You too, man.
See ya.
We'll chat with you, brother.
And there you have it. Another episode of Lunatic Fringe Into the Void, brought to you as always by, and say it with me, fuck yeah, NZ Aerosports. Head to nzaerosports.com. By Pussfoot. That's right, head to pussfoot.com, the extreme sports collective, and check out everything they've got to offer. By summitparachutesystems.com. Jarrett Martin and the family cranking out amazing pilot rigs, as well as incredible rigging courses. And now joining the Lunatic team, it's the one and only Tony Suits. You know him, you love him. Head to tonysuit.com. Check out all the amazing standards, as well as the new incredible signature line they've got going on. And as for us, the Lunatic Fringe is now on YouTube. That's right, you're going to have the chance to put faces to the audio by heading to youtube.com and looking up the Lunatic Fringe podcast. It's easy. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, check out all the amazing videos from the previous guests that we've had, as well as new and upcoming interviews on video. As always, I am the fucking pilot. Head to thefuckingpilot.net or theprincesspilot.com. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time around.
Damn.